students, welcome to our biology class. Today we are going to see pancreas. Basically we know there are three layers, that is a germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. This pancreas originated from ectoderm. Basically this pancreas is a exocrine endocrine gland, and there are small cells are present in the endocrine gland called as a islets of Langerhans, and this islet of Langerhans has different types of cell which is classified into 4 cells, and these 4 cells are secretes some hormones. So first we will see is the alpha cell, second will be beta cell, third will be delta cell, and fourth will be PP cell or a F cell. First we will go through by alpha cell. Basically these alpha cells present in a small quantity, likewise 20%, and it secretes the glucagon. These alpha cells helpful in our blood glucose level, that means it regulates and balance our blood glucose level as well as it increases the blood glucose level. That means it stimulates liver for the glucogenolysis, and from the glucogenolysis our blood sugar level get increases. Second is the beta cells. Beta cells is present in much more amount, likewise 70%, and it secretes the insulin. And main function of this beta cells is it decreases the blood sugar level. Third is the delta cell. Delta cell is present in a very low quantity, likewise 5%, and it secretes the somatostatin. This somatostatin inhibits the secretion of both, that is glucagon and insulin. That means alpha and beta cells get inhibited by this somatostatin, as well as it has another function that it decreases our some gastric secretions, absorptions in our digestive system. Gastric secretion means our bile juice, pancreatic juice, etc. Fourth is the PP cells or F cells. PP cells means polypeptide cells, and this is also present in a very low quantity, that means only 5%, and it has a main function that it releases the pancreatic juice. So this PP cell is called as a pancreatic polypeptide. So on the basis of this alpha, beta, delta and PP cells or F cells, you will get to know that this glucagon, insulin, somatostatin are related to diabetes. And we already know in diabetes there are important factor is blood glucose level, balance of our blood sugar level. So related to pancreas, there is only one disease called as a diabetes mellitus, that means our diabetes. And this diabetes mellitus is also called as a hyperglycemia. We already know this is an endocrine disease. In diabetes, blood sugar level get increases, or sometimes it also decreases. But why this activity occurs? Because of these beta cells. We already know beta cells has a high quantity and it secretes the insulin. That's why blood glucose level get decreases or increases. There are two types of diabetes, that is a type 1 and type 2. This type 1 is called as a insulin dependent diabetes mellitus and short form is the IDDM, that means insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. And there is a type 2 called as a non-insulin dependent diabetes, that means NIDDM, non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Both the type of diabetes caused because of the low level of insulin, which result into the motility of our glucose. That means motility means our movement of our glucose into the cell. And if this glucose didn't move into the cell, at that time this insulin or a blood glucose level or a blood sugar level get increases or decreases. So there is a insulin resistance also present. This insulin resistance means it reduces the all sensitivity of insulin. That means it resists or it stops the insulin or a sensitivity of or a movement of this insulin. So it is called as a insulin resistance. Now we will see gonads. We already know gonads are the sex organ. Sex organ means testes and ovaries, right? Testes are present in a male reproductive system and ovaries are present in the female reproductive system. So first we will see the ovaries and their hormones, and after that we will see the testes and their hormones. Basically, ovaries are produce estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, inhibin. So these hormones are produced by a ovary and each hormone get secreted by a particular part. So first we will see estrogen. This estrogen is secreted by a follicle. We have already studied in the female reproductive system, that is a Graafian follicle. And this Graafian follicle, when it is in at the developing stage, at that time this estrogen gets secreted by these follicles. And it is helpful in a secondary sexual characters in the female after the completing of the particular Graafian follicle. Next is the progesterone. And this progesterone is secreted by the corpus luteum. We already know white scar in the ovary is called as a corpus luteum, and this progesterone helps in a preparation of a uterus for the implantation of a ovum, as well as it is helpful in a thickening of a uterine endometrium. We already know there are three types, and three, or you can say there is a 3 layers in the uterus, and from this endometrium which is present inside the uterus, after the menstrual cycle it get thicked. And this progesterone also functioning in a development of our mammary glands during pregnancy. Along with it also helpful in our contraction and relaxation of our uterine during the pregnancy. Next hormone is the relaxin. It is also secreted by a corpus luteum, but at the end point, that means at the end point, that is at the gestation period. That means it is helpful in during pregnancy. It relaxes the cervix during the pregnancy along with the ligament of a pelvic girdle. Hence, it will be helpful to give a birth young one and contraction and relaxation of a uterine. Last one is the inhibin. It is also secreted by a corpus luteum and it is helpful in a production of a FSH and GnRH hormone. FSH means follicle stimulating hormone. These both hormones get produced by a inhibin. Next we will see testes. We already know testes is a male sex hormone and it is called as a androgens. So there is a testosterone is present. Basically this testosterone secreted from the interstitial cells of a Leydig cells. We have already seen in the TS of a testis there are a small cells are present and these cells is called as a Leydig cells. And this Leydig cells secretes the LH hormone. LH means luteinizing hormone. Basically, this testosterone is helpful in a developing of a secondary sexual characters. Secondary sexual characters includes the facial hair, pubic hair, deepening of voice or a broadening of a shoulders, aggressiveness, etc. That means these all sexual characters get developed by the testosterone, so that when male become adults, at that time their voice get changed as well as facial hair and pubic hair starting developing, as well as their body structure also started developing. And it is also helpful in the maintaining testes. Also, males' anger or aggressiveness or excitement also get developed by this testosterone. Now we will see the diffuse endocrine glands. These diffuse endocrine glands includes the placenta. We already seen placenta in a previous chapter. That is it is a particular layer or a particular connection between the fetus and uterine wall. And we already know this placenta is a temporary. And after the pregnancy, this placenta get disappear. So it is only helpful in a pregnancy. And during this pregnancy, this placenta secretes various hormones which are estrogen, progesterone, human chorionic gonadotropin or a human placental progesterone. All these hormones are helpful in pregnancy, and these hormones always maintain the contraction and relaxation of a uterine muscle, as well as it also maintains the thickness of a endometrium, and this endometrium is the layer of a uterus. That's why these hormones helpful in a pregnancy and maintain the all pregnancy development and changes. Now we will see the gastrointestinal tract. Basically, gastrointestinal tract, that means it is present in our digestive system, and this gastrointestinal tract secretes the various juices, digestive juices you can say, which will be plays a very important role in a digestion. And this gastrointestinal tract consists various types of juices, gastric juices or digestive juices, which are gastrin, secretin, cholecytokinin or pancreazymin, and last is the enterogastron or a gastric inhibitory peptide. First of all, we will see the gastrin. Gastrin means it produces the gastrin juice and it is stimulated by the gastric glands. Next is the secretin. Secretin secretes the pancreatic juice and the bile juice from the liver. Next is the cholecytokinin. It is also called as a pancreazymin, that is a PZ or a CCK. Basically, this hormone helpful in a releasing of enzymes, and these enzymes are released by the pancreas, and after that it stimulates the gallbladder to release the bile. And last is the enterogastron or a gastric inhibitory peptide, that is a GIP, and it balances the gastric concentration or it balances the concentration of a gastric juices along with the secretion of a gastric juices. Next is the kidney. We already know kidney produces renin, erythropoietin and calcitriol, and because of this factor kidney works properly and it forms urine. Next is the heart. We already know in heart there is arteries and veins are present, so that in the heart there is a hormone is also present, and this hormone is called as a atrial natriuretic hormone. It is also called as a ANF, and it is helpful in our blood pressure. It decreases or reduces our blood pressure, and it also increases our sodium, which is excreted by our kidney. Next is the hormone therapy, or it is also called as HT. HT means only hormone therapy, and this therapy helpful in the hormones and level of hormones to maintain or to check by medical treatment. Mostly this hormone therapy used in the some growth hormone deficiency or insulin resistance, cancer, pregnancy, menopause. PCOD, PCOS, like that. In that case, this hormone therapy is useful, and because of this hormone therapy, hormone level or a maintenance of a hormone can be detected, and it will be helpful to regulate our hormone balance. So today we have seen pancreas, gonads and diffuse endocrine glands. In pancreas we have seen 4 different types of cells and their functions. In gonads we have seen the sex organs and their hormones, and in diffuse endocrine gland we have seen the placenta as well as gastrointestinal tract and also hormone therapy. Thank you.